Did you know that educators are expected to be effective communicators? And this is one of the questions during the interview. To improve your chances of getting a job, here are my 10 tips of getting your English fluent. Number 1, study. You need to enroll into a formal or informal course. It's better to do for free if it's possible, funded by government. But if not, invest in it because it's a great investment in your own development. You will also feel more confident at work when your English is getting better and better each week. Number 2, read. I used to read a lot when I started working in early childhood education and care. I would be reading blog posts, magazines, some simple read and highlight. If you are studying early childhood education and care certificate 3, which is initial qualification, make sure that when you are reading you are using highlighters and make note, because this is how the information goes straight to our brain, and it is proven that it's one of the best ways to learn. Number 3, use Google Translator when you don't know how to pronounce a word. Simple as that. It's easier to ask others as well, but sometimes it requires a lot of repetitions. You can create your list of words to pronounce and always use Google Translator if you want. Use professional podcasts. 2 of my favorite ones, the Early Education Show and Early Childhood Nerd. I have been listening to this podcast for a while, and every time I hear the interview, I improve my understanding of the terms and words that are unfamiliar. I improve my overall English language fluency, and it also helps me to think while I'm listening podcasts. Some podcasts like Aussie English, that's also a great podcast for anyone who is learning Australian version of English, help to get access to the transcriptions, and transcripts are really great for any learners who are just starting. Next one, watching the documentaries that are related to your field or not related to your field, maybe based on your interest, watching series that you like with subtitles. Subtitles are proven to help to improve everyone's language abilities, so the more you watch in English, the better your English. Next one, talk. That's obviously hard to do because you might not be confident enough, but children are quite forgiving. My experience as an English learner was really good. I was talking to children, sometimes they didn't understand what I was saying, sometimes they would clarify, sometimes they would laugh, but their innocent nature helps you to make mistakes and learn from them. The other thing that I discovered, that children pronounce words really well, and it helps to improve your English if you follow their mouth move. For example, this is how I say she. Yes, so by spreading your lips, and that really helps. The other thing, I was noticing that children really announce words when they learn, and this is the best way for us to learn. Next one, don't be afraid to make mistakes. This is really easy to be afraid of making mistakes, but learning is pretty much making mistakes, attempting and trying and failing. If you don't make mistakes, you are perfect. Why do you even need to learn, right? So don't be afraid, it's okay, and find a place where you feel comfortable and people do not laugh at you, right? So, and they're supportive and help you to learn as well. For example, many times I didn't know how to call this or that object. I was asking, can you please pass me this stapler? That's how I called it. And they would say, okay, do you need a stapler? And this way you will learn, because you made a mistake, now you self-corrected based on feedback, and this is the best. And as well become. Next one is write. Writing is required by our profession anyway, because you are going to do assignments and you're going to write observations. Write as much as possible while you are listening to the podcast, while you are doing whatever you do in your field, while you are studying. Making notes and writing actually supports learning language a lot. Typing not so much, but writing physically really does improve your language abilities. This is also evidence-based advice. Watch your supervisor, other educators, and children, parents talking. As they speak, you also can learn how they interact and what kind of phrases do they use. Sometimes it's really great to get access to recording if possible, or that's why I'm encouraging you to watch some shows that are related to our field, or any documentaries that are about early childhood education and care. But real dialogue is something different. So you need to look at people communicating in real life. For example, educator asking a child, how was your day? What you've been up to on the weekend? Tell me about that, or tell me about this. And this way you will learn in real context, and repeating those phrases as well will help you fast. Final tip is, once you feel that you already got a grasp of grammar and you speak quite well and most of feel confident, I would suggest to invest into speech pathologist or accent reduction course. It really helps to feel more fluent, yeah, and sound more fluent, and also make your speech much more clear. Speech pathologists during this training, what do? They usually use mirrors. They model the way you speak. Also, they focus on those sounds that are very, very typical for this particular group. For example, I used to work on my sound E as opposed to W, and I'm still working on it, because in Russian we only have V, Varona, V, while in English there are two sounds at least. One is V, when you have this particular movement of your lips, such as then, yeah, then, and also W, which is completely different sound. For example, what, why. And for many English-speaking people, it's natural to accept sounds, and for us, it's not. So starts with professional training, and it really improves your clarity when you speak to parents, educators, supervisor, your mentor, and children, of course. Here we go. These are my 10 tips. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Subscribe for more.